Get fucking serious. It's dramatic, okay? This one's gonna be, this one's for real. Light. Light suffusing all. Eternal, undying, infinite. Names beyond counting does this place have in the timeless time in which it existed. But in your tongue, Exandrian, let us simply call it Tengar, the Eternal Palace. Behold endless ramparts and hallways of spinning stars, a nebula so vast that light would age 1,000 lifetimes of its origin to cross from the threshold to the ending of this palace. Let us imagine beings of infinite possibility and endless wonder, populating the vast and joyous caverns, chambers, hallways, ramparts, all of the chapels and unending mystery that this eternal palace has to offer those that have always dwelt herein. Shimmering light, beings of wonder, whose potential, having never touched the real, is limitless. Within this place, we must describe for you, in words that mortals can comprehend, what you have come now to witness. In Tengar, the Eternal Palace, past the hallway of the unbroken shard, where one can spy the quill of infinites, that which writes those worlds that have yet never been, we see a small parade of twinkling lights. These lights that we now behold are, to us, inhuman. But of course, this realm has never known the touch of humans. So, let us instead give it a name that we might understand it. Sparkling light traveling down a hall, we see a kaleidoscoping ephemera of twinkling lights moving through the palace towards the orchard of possibility. Though it would be impossible for a mortal to comprehend, is there some shape or form to your light in this endless palace?
A roiling ball of light that is roughly spherical, but never quite.
Much larger than you are, rolls past.
Splendid. I was wondering if I might come across any of the vibrant denizens of these wings of Tengar. Have you any friends nearby to call out to? I wish to show you something if I could.
Ashley, what form of light do we now see arriving in this place?
It's not just a form, but it's almost something that you feel. It's warmth. Pale blue, almost, and it sort of changes shape. But it is spherical in some ways. That's the way, at least, someone would try to describe it.
Purplish light, almost what you would describe as the reflection of water when it plays on a wall. Lounging beneath the trees. Fractals playing on fractals. Enjoying the peace.
Races past, trips on the purple fractal, explodes in endless fireworks, and is
Gather together and slowly spread out again.
I could have known. Always lounging around in the orchard. He looks up. Imri looks at you and goes, beautiful. I don't know if I don't know if I agree. Don't you feel a little bit? And here he looks to you for the word that they have never had to say before.
Terrible.
It reaches up, plucks the fruit. You say, wait.
Wait. Give it a chance.
A moment too late. Oh. The dune's shimmering form ceases. Each point of light is fixed. Oh.
What is happening?
I'm sorry. I think I'm going away.
What is that? What? What is away?
A point of lightlessness rests in the middle of the orchard. Do any other spirits nearby hear or see this event?
Oh, yes. I feel like I had not a dream. I feel like I had a desire for something new and I guess terrible. I remember wanting something. I've been trying to turn myself inside out for I don't know how long, and I'm a little Ouroboros of bits of light that are clearly trying to fall into each other's own black hole as they slowly make their way around themselves, and it's like a molecular orbit, if such a thing. And this is new.
You arrive as other spirits begin to gather from nearby. You see that another spirit, Hailey, comes by. She moves as shifting color, who leaves imprints of herself behind her, suspended backwards to show the way that she has come in light. She comes through and goes, something new? Did you do this?
I wish.
Okay.
This is all I wanted.
I think it would be best for me to go get Eden from whatever this is.
Wait.
It's all right.
No,
I can get him. She touches the point of lightlessness, is frozen, and you hear noise from elsewhere in Tengar. The endless images of herself stretching throughout space are falling into nothingness behind her, like a row of dominoes falling and vanishing as they hit the floor. I'll miss you. And she is gone. A far tower crumbles.
She is away.
what's happening?
She is away.
Our last two spirits, you are within, are seeing a hallway that has been infinite for a timelessness suddenly begin to fall behind you. Describe yourselves as you see your doom now approach in the moment of understanding what doom even is.
So, Eden is a cacophony of sound, constantly collapsing in on itself and then exploding back into new shapes and forms. It tries to pull objects to it, it mimics, tries to copy the trees it sees. It's always trying to change and explore. Endless chaotic curiosity. How did you do it? I've been trying to get to nothing forever and I can't. Who did it? Who did it? I need to know.
Nothing happened on its own.
On its own.
And then, yeah, Coral is just this shimmering sort of, almost like, not necessarily tubular, but it sparkles and it's frantic. But suddenly it doesn't sparkle anymore. It calms and it stops and sort of watches. Wonderful. and let it be taken in by this madness that is ensuing and going forward.
You stand there, watching, and as you do, a thread of pure fate wraps around you as the weaver of time pulls you towards her as the hallway makes it so that 1 moment later, you would never have been. It pulls you forward. Already you see that Tengar is collapsing around you. She looks at all of you and goes, "What are you doing? What are you doing?"
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what is this?
How can there be nothing? We are here. There is we.
"There won't be if we don't run!" And you see she begins to sprint across the orchard as nothingness comes to eternity.
I follow her.
She reaches out and spins a seed, which is a ship, which is a star of light and fate in front of you. Running behind you, you see another spirit, Nahala, go, "Wait! Consumer is still in there!" Turns to run, swallowed, gone, never existed. Her name vanished. You turn as Imri grabs you, Aru, and you lose, and says, "We're sticking together! We're sticking together!" And pulls you onto the ship.
I keep looking behind.
Siblings!
Now!
I am full speed and trying to push and press from behind to get everyone moving towards the sea.
Why do we
Really
have to
fast.
go?
It's nothing is too much. There's too much nothing. There's too much.
But where are we going?
I don't know. Something new.
You see that Sean steps out and goes, "I don't want this. I don't want this!" Boom! And a wave of force ruptures out and takes this eternal palace you have lived in and shatters it to make something destroyed in front of you to protect you. As Shafti does this, you see Shafti has always just been pure concussive energy, like heat above a barbecue, and you see that congeals into flesh and bone and blood, and Shafti is suddenly something realer, and this force breaks the bones in his hands and scars his flesh. He goes, "Run! I can protect us!" Ship moves. It grabs Shafti, and this ship takes off from Tengar. And you begin to watch your eternal home fall. Perhaps other ships have left. Perhaps other spirits have made their way. But there are only a handful of you here.
Is this because I wanted something?
I cling to ours.
I didn't want... I don't know what I wanted.
All of you, you stand tall along with it. The rest of you are thrown to... The rest of you are thrown to the deck as suddenly force hits you. Normally, something like this would have been considered or pondered upon, and instead your bodies are thrown to the deck of something that you are traveling on. You look out and see waves of permeating heat and light and color as you move from this place towards something that is going to destroy you. I'm something. I'm not everything, but I'm something. I love you.
I love you.
It leaps to the deck of the ship, throws up a wall, and you see that suddenly there is a face and eyes and hair as it goes, "Let us through! Let us through!" Yeah! Heat pours over him and burns him terribly as he stands at the front of the ship, pushing forward with the will of this eternal place, making a way through the heat for your vessel.
I go to help.
As Imri is dying, you put a hand on him. What do you do? What do you say in this moment?
I'm so sorry. I don't know what to do. I sort of take my form, and the only thing I know how to do is just hold in this moment in the warmth of what feels like a hug.
You hug Imri, and that is the only thing that saves him from destruction. You heal him. As the heat touches him, it bursts into fire. This mane of it was so beautiful, and this mane of hair stretches back, and the fire burns it until it blackens in two swirling spikes that stretch back from his head, wrapping around him like horns. As the heat touches you, and you burn brighter and brighter until you are pure light. You move from this place and suddenly burst through and are now standing in roiling, unstoppable chaos. You feel that your ship is being pushed in all directions. What do the rest of you do? The rest of you that have been knocked to the deck of the ship?
Was also hurt.
Yes.
I will move to Shah.
You move to Shakti, who is trying to use pure force to propel you forward. As you move to him, you see just rage and emotion and becoming real and feeling pain and struggle. You move to Shakti's side, and you see the chaos finds you. You are in a space in between the eternal and wherever you are headed. And Shakti looks and goes, "Oh no." Darkness begins to descend on you. Pure possibility will rend you all apart and scatter you to the wind as you begin to move through this space. Where Edom stands, a helm appears for the ship, and above Edom's head, a compass. Lines extending, colors parted, things that roiled into chaos, now made to stand where they ought. And even the concept of ought renders your ship safer and more real. It surges forward, going further and further and further. You are at the back trying to keep Shafi alive to provide the force that you need. You see with the front trying to protect the ship from the pure force of traveling forward at this speed. And the rest of you on the deck, you can see that there has been given some mathematics, some ability to pilot and chart, but you do not know to where you can go.
Seeing this almost erupts and almost starts to, in a way, paint and react and engage with the elements of like a compass, of, things of control, and just create and construct, and just again, it's just pure reaction.
As you begin to paint with color, the geometry that Edom has created, you can use to interpret, express, make meaning. And all of a sudden, all of that light begins to form into points of light. And you paint the constellations, stars, guiding your path, pure beauty made manifest in a dance of mathematics and orbit. Pure artistry surges forward from you, and all of a sudden, you are moving in a direction. You have your bearing, but you are burning. Your bodies are made real, and all of a sudden, you feel the weight and heft. You feel that you have lost something eternal. As one of you, the you choose, lives, an infinite number of the yous that could have been vanish forever.
I wanted something. I didn't even know what something is. I need something. We need something. We need something, and I'm going to find it.
standing near Idamash. You feel it calling to you. And you are the one who finds home. Moving through with some wagons, drawn by some horses, we see a group of people that, for being here in the heart of the calamity, seem to huddle together for warmth. Ashley, would you describe your character for us?
Sure. You see a human woman, late 30s, sort of dark brown auburn hair with bits of white throughout. Tanned skin, freckles everywhere. You'd miss her in a crowd, but there's kindness in her eyes. She has on a very large overcoat that she grabbed as she left her home that belongs to her husband, Amaris.
Walking by your side, Nick, would you please describe your character?
A young, mid to late teens, human male walks beside you. Brown eyes, brown hair, shield that doesn't look like it's his, though he wears it on his back comfortably. And he walks with a staff with etchings of the moon and stars towards the top. And he looks down and gives Gilly, your dog, a scratch behind the ears.
A big mountain-like rescue dog. They're like big bear-looking dogs. Gilly.
Come here.
And comes over and nuzzles you, sort of looking around. Gilly's always excited to meet people, and there's so many people here.
Stay close.
Mom, Mom, Mom! And running up, you see two little kids. One of them is sort of like tween age, and the other one is a little bit younger, maybe like, around 8 or 9. And you see Trist, your daughter Haley and your son Topher run up to you. As they rush up, Haley goes, Mom, there's a wagon back there that's got all kinds of fruit on it, like bright, like red. Like I've never even seen fruit this red.
No way.
Yeah, it's wild. It's all back there.
That's amazing.
And you see that Topher looks around and says, I saw some guys over there that were playing a game with cards, and they had like money.
Whoa. Well, maybe don't jump in on that game, okay?
I could learn it.
I know you could. And
Maybe I'd
probably
watch.
win.
What should I do if they invite me to play?
You watch, you learn, and you beat them.
They're toast.
You got this, Toph.
You see, he gives you a big hug. Both of your children have the sort of long, fuzzy ears of their father as your husband, Amaris, who gladly goes without his coat, smells richly of petrichor and pine. Your furbolg husband walks up. Walking in from the edge of the camp, Laura, would you please describe your character for me?
Sure. You see a human woman walking in soft green robes, creams, sensible leathers, with rich brown hair, walking next to an older man, in a conversation with him pleasantly, at the same time kind of looking up to the skies, looking around. And then she holds her arm up and a black raven lands on her arm. Dearest.
Your protector and guardian turns to look at you, a mantle of raven feathers over his shoulder. He smiles. You can see he looks older, tired. Says, "No, plenty for the little lovey to eat. In a place like Hawks Hill, that midden heap's got to be at least 12 feet high."
Maybe you should go and get into trouble.
I can try to move out if you'd like and try to get a lay of the land, but this is, I suppose, where we part ways.
No. You keep saying it, but are you sure you don't want to come? You could do it.
I would do anything you asked of me. And I will only say, before you ask it of me, long or short, we all must decide how we want to spend our lives. And I think in some ways we have to decide how to spend our death. It has been the honor of my life to protect you. Taliesin, would you go ahead and describe your character?
She's an elf. Young, but it's hard to pin down because she's clearly had a hard life. Her skin is ashen, and her hair, once dark, has begun to gray in patches, and clearly not healthy. Clearly eats only when she can. And clearly a farmer. Possibly a hunter, considering what she has. Her eyes are a very bright yellow. And her clothes seem like they were once possibly somewhat grand. They have some beautiful embroidery in them, and comfortable and flowing, but old, very old, and put back together with care. No shoes. And her expression is somewhere else. Not sad, not angry, not nervous, just somewhere else.
And the light creates a silhouette of several figures, but one at the lead, a herald of sorts that steps now from the ship. Abba, would you describe your character?
He is an Matron. Beautiful. The way his frame works is you don't know where it starts and where it ends. It's almost like a painting. And there's these golden, like, sort of sprinkles that are kind of adorning his body, the frame, and they kind of move a bit every now and then. Very, very sort of regal in look. Orange eyes. And he sort of walks down, taking in everything. And he sort of addresses, "Denizens of Hawk Hill, we have come to collect foodstuffs and raw material supplies for the might of Aor. Please allow the representatives of the Majesty to do their work. After food and supplies have come aboard, then those seeking refuge will be allowed to petition our proctors of the Dorian Guard. Priority will be given to those capable of labor. If you are not chosen, you will be given an emblem of sanctuary. Those with the most emblems will be taken after laborers. If you are sick or wounded, your emblem will not count. If you accost any member of this crew or delay them in their efforts, your emblems will be removed. Please come through."
Haley and Topher wrap their hands around you. Haley looks up and goes, "They let Topher play with acorns and he lost all the acorns." So you see, Topher looks up. You see, he looks up and says, "I can't believe I lost all." And there's a pat on his back. You look up, a really scary-looking, obvious fucking criminal like knives on the thing. He's like a scar on a throat that looks like he should have died at some point. Looks up and he goes, "Kid." And Topher looks up and he says, "Felt bad about you losing those acorns." And flips him a full gold piece that lands in his hand. "Thanks, mister." You see that this guy looks down at this precocious little kid that came to a den of criminals to ask to play a game of cards, and there's like a little light in his heart. "I had a little brother who played as bad as you did." He looks up and says, "Sorry, miss. Didn't mean to intrude."
Thank you, sir.
Word's starting to spread through the camp. I think people suspect that this might be the last ship that comes through.
And there will be chaos. Pervon,
Yes.
can you do me one last service?
Anything. For all time.
Do you see that family?
Yes.
The 2 children.
Yes.
Get them out of here safely.
It will be done. As the covering is removed, patient and eternal, Noshir, would you please describe the final of our band that we now see in the moment before whatever is to come?
The crate comes open, and inside is what appears to be a massive slab of stone encased in ice. And then there's a sound that emanates through the mind, like a gate shutting and a gong sounding and a scream as the contents pour out and pool at the feet of Asha. A light starts to build in the stone, and slowly a figure starts to emerge. Ice, a face that is devoid of mouth, holes where eyes should be, windswept. Rock starts to crack and break and form into plates of carapace over the shoulders and chest, and inside the chest there is a thrumming boom, 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 as light peeks in, as the rock shifts and moves, until finally there is a massive figure huddled at her feet, bent over, and you can feel loss and confusion and heartbreak. And then it stops. And slowly, the emissary turns its face to Asha. "She has left me here." And he looks around. And slowly tries to get up to his feet. He's about 8 feet tall. A massive sculpture of ice and stone.
Before actually I exit, I go to the door.
Yeah.
And I stop. And I turn back and I look at the emissary and I'm like, "Get back in the box."
He lumbers forward, looks around, and slowly huddles into as small a shape as he can as he fits the little bracelet thing like a ring on one of his clawed fingers.
And I kind of looked at the devil and was like, he's supposed to be apples. And I kind of take the lid and kind of close it back and then go towards the door and leave.
The lid to the crate cracks open, and the emissary kind of pokes his head out. Dark. And just kind of watches what's going on around it.
You kind of hear again the voice in your head. Yes, it's very dark, darling, but just stay inside. And kind of lift the thing and kind of stand resolute.
I turn to you. I'm going to need an owner briefly. You hear in your head.
I've always wanted a dog.
I walk over and I turn into a not ridiculously large wolf, but certainly a very reasonable wolf, and just curl up behind. I turn back. I drop my my human wild shape back into my true form.
So you see, Asha leaves her wild shape to become a wolf. You see a Aeorian enforcer. At this time of night, it seems the only people that are allowed to be out and about have some kind of designation. You see a Aeorian enforcer rub his head, take a small flask of something. Small imp appears next to him. Sire, I think we might have missed our stop. See, he snaps his fingers, the thing screams and disappears into a little glass emblem. He sort of drunkenly stares ahead. The man has a spirit encased in a thing of glass and is a little bit more invested in having a drink on his way to some station other than the one in which he lives. Tram moves forward.
How drunk is he?
Oh, he's sauced. He's half gone already.
As he nods off, I'm going to cast Mage Hand and try to lift the necklace off of.
The necklace comes off with the imp inside. See, he's also got a small emblem, a metal pin to his chest that denotes his station.
Let him mind his own business. We're not far.
I turn invisible.
You turn invisible.
I walk over and look at his face.
You look up. Give me a perception check.
24.
He stares ahead, not knowing what is right in front of him, as it cannot be seen. This man will be dead before sunrise.
I breathe in.
Shit. Not feeling the imp emblem on him, he rushes out of this car, back into another car, past him on the tram.
I reappear.
Right. That was fun.
We should speak, but we are not all gathered. They are here. With him.
How many?
There are 4.
4.
There were supposed to be more. Some of them betrayed and lied and are not here, but 4 are.
Little lies.
I just love family drama. When I follow her.
Standing behind the altar is a kindly old man. White hair, staff, He looks out smiling, standing where a priest would stand. And you see a priest of the Dawnfather standing here in this room. Lying on the altar, blood running down from her mouth, a powerful barbarian woman with a massive sword who saw fit to rest on this ancient altar. At the base of the steps of this raised platform, there is a sickly, deathly-looking turtle. Hunched, glowing green eyes. His thick, wrinkly skin torn by small hooks. His shell changed by spikes. It looks like it hurts him to move, like his shell is growing things that protrude inside him. And up at the top of a column with a bow and arrow is a small halfling woman who hides there in the ceiling, slowly descends from a rope. See the hulking barbarian woman gets up from the dais, looks out at you. I was a little more comfortable in the dark, but not my temple, I guess.
I look at the priest and say, he would have words with you if he were here.
I am, as ever, an open channel for the Lord of the Sun. Let him speak to me if he would. It has been a joy to sow his light. Hello, family.
There is an obvious course of action before us. Do we need to spell it out and say it? You see that Umleta goes, I mean, you can run and do a lot of research if you want, but it feels like there's a really clean solution.
No.
What'd you say to me?
I said no.
What do you think we came here to do? You are not a god. Someone got cold feet. She knows something I don't know.
Probably.
Well, that makes two of you that aren't gods. You'd be amazed what the moniker of betrayer will do to people's sense of cohesion.
I think we should just go, relax, see the city, have a drink, find out some more information, and then we can decide what we want to do, eh? I understand that you want to bring the city down, because that's what you always want to do, but I think there is a way.
I miss you in there some days. I really do.
Why don't you come find me? I don't want to do this alone.
I'm so sorry.
If I promise to take care of you, can I torture you forever?
You already do.
You see that Umleta, the halfling, looks and says, I can go with you. I'll be helpful. I'm small. I'm easy to keep out of the way.
Well, can I? Does she look appealing?
She does. She's kind of a little cutie.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm nice. Giving me that stink face. You don't like me?
No, it's not that I don't like you. I just don't trust you.
Why not? We're not that different. It's not like you guys are the good guys. We just had a disagreement about what should happen to mortals.
As long as the Matron comes.
I can go where I'm needed.
You see that Umleta looks up and goes, family. I love that. You see, she goes, maybe it won't be family after this. It's a little dream I have. Because I feel like when you get down here in the dirt with them, you realize there's not that much to like. Maybe we'll convince you that this little truce can last as long as we want it to. If we all decide to work together. Go team.